welcome to my dining room. I'm Jamie Hartman and I'm with New Route South Jersey, brokered by EXP. When I'm not selling real estate, one of the things I love to do is throw a killer dinner party. And people tell me I make a pretty great tablescape. So tablescapes can be a little bit overwhelming. Today I'm going to show you exactly how I do it and how you can have a couple basics on hand for about $250 total to make amazing tablescapes and unique tablescapes throughout your entire year. So let's get started. First thing you want to do with a good tablescape is have a good table runner. I always have a couple table runners on hand. I have a khaki, a gray, and a dark gray. And I have a big table out. My dining room table can fit about 16 people. You want to make sure that whatever table runner you have, it fits the entire table. I never like when you walk up and like you can see the table runner that like ends right here. Like you want it to lay throughout your entire table. So love a good table runner, and then that also sets the tone for where you can put your water pitcher if you don't want to put it on your table, the candles so that they don't melt onto your table. The table runner is key to making sure that your look is streamlined and organized. Next, you want to have your placemats. I like to have an assortment of textures, and this I have plastic for kids. I have an assortment of different fabrics. I love this one. These I got at Home Goods. And I love to mix and match. Another way I like to elevate the table is with cloth napkins. Not only are they great for the environment, but it really does elevate your dinner when someone reaches for a cloth napkin versus a paper napkin. And I know it's a little bit of extra laundry. We just actually ask everyone to pitch in and throw them on the steps when they walk out the door. And our laundry room is on our second floor. We just take them up and throw them in. And, I definitely think it elevates your experience. I have been using my same china that I got for my wedding. I'm not one of those people that doesn't use china. We use this every Friday night, and I like to the point where it's actually starting to fade. So I need to look into that. But I definitely recommend you bringing out your china that's sitting in a box that you might not, be using to help elevate your dinner. I mean, I'm not one, I think every night is a special night. So I don't think you need to wait until, 2 Christmases that you're celebrating, when you're hosting to use your fine china, use it now. Again, I think I mentioned my table holds 16. So these napkin rings, they can get expensive. Choose something that's neutral. I have 16 of these, and I literally only use these, but I change up how I use them so it looks different. Another thing I like to do, and now that we have our chalkboard, which I'll mention, I don't do it anymore, but I sometimes would print out a menu of what we're serving and fold it and put the menu in the napkin and place the napkin on the plate. Just another fun way. If you don't want to splurge for the napkin holders, you can still elevate it. Now that we have your place setting all set, it's time to come to the fun stuff. This is where you can really customize and mix and match with every dinner. So I love to incorporate different textures. The key is really keeping to one color tone. Everything you see on this table is not fresh. So the only thing that I bring in that is fresh flowers the day of or the day before, depending upon when we're running out for like a last few minute things for the dinner party. Everything else goes into these drawers that you see behind me, and I pull it out and mix and match. So these vases are my favorite. There is so much that you can do with these. I like to fill them with water and drop a floating candle into them, or you can add some sand to the bottom and put the pillar candle on them. This vase set is from Amazon, about $25. I probably shouldn't have said that because it's almost my favorite giftable item. I gifted it to my mom and my sister-in-laws, and it's just a great set that I pull out all the time. And I was just over at my sister-in-law's for dinner the other night, and she had it on the table, so she said she uses it all the time too. And it's great because you could put one in the bathroom or have all 10 on your table, mix and match, and that creates versatility throughout the entire year. These are also really great vases. I got these at Michael's for $1. Now, granted, that was when for my bridal shower, and I've been married for almost 16 years. So it's probably not that cheap, but these are pretty inexpensive. And you can add, this is where I used to add my fresh flowers. And I like that they're small, so you don't need a ton of flowers. You can do just like a couple, and I arrange my own flowers from a couple different bunches, and that allows for you to flow it throughout the entire table without having to buy tons of flowers if you have a bigger vase. Also, a key to tablescapes when you are designing them is you want to allow for conversation. So you don't want anything to be in each other's face, blocking the way so you can't talk to the person in front of you. That's why I really love, and that brings us to candles. I always have all different kinds of like tapered candles, because again, I love how it offsets the height to the overall tablescape when you want some height, but you don't want to block the conversation, because you can make the table a little elevated and still see through and have a good flow of conversation. I got all of these at Amazon as well. These all came in a set. I really also love these, which I use for both regular block candles and LED candles. If you have kids at your table, it's just really nice to have the flickering LED. It really does feel real, and it's just so much safer. So that's always just a good rule of thumb when you're having a ton of candles and children around. I always, whenever I'm shopping at Home Goods or just, I always will look in their tapered candles, and there's always good options. So I'll just pick some up throughout the year, and then I pull them out as I have my dinner party. So those are my basics, and I mix and match all of this throughout my tablescape. Here's what I do to elevate it a little bit more. So I love textures. I love all natural things. This is just, regular sand, stones, and this is actually driftwood that we collected in Tofino in British Columbia. I love the colored sand. I don't even know what this is called, hay and grass. And this is just like an example of how you can mix and match with a candle. I have all different glass vases, and this can be on your buffet or on your island when people walk in. So not necessarily a tablescape, but all of this is so versatile to just use throughout your house as well, that you don't have to use it just for your tablescape. So these are some little extras that I love to dress it up a little bit. This is mercury glass, and whether it's milk glass or cobalt glass or mercury glass, there's a lot of different options out there. Whatever you love, choose one thing and just collect it through the years. My thing is mercury glass. I just love it. I love how it's translucent and opal at the same time, and especially when you have candles flickering, it just adds like a little special sparkle. I also like to infuse my personality into my table, and these tulips I got in Amsterdam, and they are just a great conversation starter. So whether I have them like in the individual bud vases or I have them in a bunch in the glass vases, not everything has to be fresh. There is ways to incorporate items that still feel bright without it being fresh. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely do get the fresh flowers usually, but if you're throwing something impromptu, you don't have to rush out for fresh flowers. Pompous, I know it's not a huge crowd favorite, like my brother cannot stand it, but I love it, and I love that it brings textures, and it brings texture in an affordable way. So these are just examples of different items that you could have in your dining room on a buffet or side table, and to elevate your dining room without having to buy something fresh. All of this is stuff that I have on hand. So that pretty much wraps up my tablescapes. Lastly, I just wanted to mention a couple things that I've done to my dining room that are really easy, cheap additions that anyone can do to elevate their dining rooms. These are menus from dinners that we've had around the world together, and the menu is free. We literally just popped it into a frame, some of which are IKEA, and put it on the wall. And this is a huge conversation starter. Everyone loves looking at these and seeing the menu, and we discuss it, and you relive the meal. It's so fun, and it's so inexpensive. This chalkboard we put together when we moved in the house. Literally, this is plywood from Home Depot that I spray painted with chalkboard paint. This is a plywood frame that we spray painted gold. This whole thing cost $100. We like to put our menu on here of what we're serving or a fun message. As you can see, our message from our last dinner party is still up. And actually we got to change it today because I'm hosting my family tonight. I want to put something up for my dad. But it's just a fun way to instantly welcome people into the room and just elevate your experience as well. And it's not expensive. You could buy even a smaller chalkboard that you prop on a stand that you write the menu. It's just an inexpensive way to make it a little bit more special. And lastly, this, I love to have one unique piece that is just a little bit different. So this is actually one of my favorite wedding gifts that we ever received. We use it all the time, and it's just a simple wine holder, but it's different, and it just, everyone always mentions how much they love it. This is usually on my table with my Tablescape. And that's pretty much it. As you see, it is really attainable. So that about covers it. I'm Jamie Hartman with New Breed South Jersey. I have a client first approach, and it doesn't end for me when I sell you the house. I want you to actually enjoy it. And entertaining can be really overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Just keeping a few basics on hand, you can intersperse, change up your Tablescape throughout the year, and every single dinner can be unique. So hope you start using your Tablescapes. Follow New Roots South Jersey for more home tips.